Hello, Scott Dutton here. I wanted to share my 4 top tips in having a difficult conversation. Now, this is not all my information. This actually, some of it is from Harvard. I actually attended Harvard a couple of years ago, pre-COVID, and did a training there. And they run this training over 5 days. That's how tricky it is. 5 days. Anyway, my top tips. I'm going to condense them from 5 days into 4 tips. First one is how to start a difficult conversation. A lot of us fall into a particular trap with this, and the trap is when we make the other person the problem. So if we started a conversation by saying, hey, do you have a few minutes? I want to talk to you about your lateness. That's likely to get a defensive response, not very helpful. Whereas if I said, would you have a few minutes? I wanted to talk about meeting times and just check we're on the same page. That's less likely to get a defensive response. So what we do is we reframe the issue. We frame it in a neutral way, not a way where it's blaming towards the other. Number 2 is going into a difficult conversation where we think we are right and we think we know all the important information. Often we don't know a lot of information. How clear are we on their concerns? What's important to them? What impact has it had? Do we know all that information? Also, they're going to have a very different perspective. So we need to be open to that. And so thinking we're right and our way of thinking is the only way is a real trap, and we're going to be very careful of that. Number 3 is making sure we have a good purpose. And this is a real tricky one, I think, because often we go in with the purpose of wanting to change the other person because they're doing something that's having an impact or is upsetting us. Yet, if we go in with that purpose of trying to change the other, we're going to get resistance and defensiveness. So what Harvard talk about is moving away from the purpose of changing the other, but more about trying to understand the other. Understand what their concerns are, why it's important to them, how do they see it. And once we've done that, it'd be about sharing how we see it, what's important to us, what are our key issues or concerns. Then once we've got a clear understanding, we can move forward. We can find a solution that's going to work for both of us. And number 4 is emotions. And this, I think, is one of the trickiest components because things are going to come up during the difficult conversation and it will challenge us. I think what we can do with that is be really prepared. Not only being clear on our purpose and our intent, also how we're going to start it, but also being really clear on what are our key issues or concerns we want addressed. What are the things we want to raise? How open are we to the other person? But also thinking about the impact this situation's had on us. And if we are going to express our feelings, how will we do it in a really clear, constructive, thoughtful way? So thanks for listening, folks. That was my 4 tips. And as usual, enjoy your conflict.